And good morning to you, meteorologist Joey Sovine here at the Live 5 Alert Desk with an update on the very latest in the tropics as we go through our Wednesday, getting very busy out there. We still have Gabrielle, but Gabrielle's a non-issue, even though it's our only named storm right now. We're more concerned about two other disturbances we'll be keeping a close eye on over the next couple of days. Let's go out in the tropics and we'll break things down and what's going on out there right now, what's to come, and whether we need to be concerned about anything. And we start out with just a broad view in the satellite imagery in the tropical basin, and we have three areas that we're watching right now. The one that's most impressive is this one here into the North Atlantic. Well, that is Gabrielle. Gabrielle moving farther away from the U.S., so it's already gotten as close as it's going to get. It did produce a little bit of swell out at our beaches, but not a big issue. And as we take a look elsewhere, we do have this disturbance right here. This is the one that is likely to develop short term. Longer term, as we look later this week, a second area down here across the lower Atlantic into the Caribbean. That's a disturbance that's near the U.S. Virgin Islands this morning. It'll be moving westward towards the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas later this week, and that's where we have the possibility of development. So marked by those two X's there, you can see those are where our disturbances are right now. Now, those red highlighted areas, that's where, if we get development, it will likely be, and they're pretty high chances now. In fact, with that one farther out in the Atlantic, it's up to 90% that this develops in a tropical system. Wouldn't be surprised if a tropical depression develops later on today or tonight. So we'll keep you up to date on that. Of course, give you the first alert. If you have our Live 5 First Alert weather app, you'll get that as soon as it develops. Now, the one closer in is the one we'll be watching a little bit more closely because of its proximity that it could have to the U.S. Now, this is a very complicated setup because what we know are that two strong storms don't like to really exist side by side in the Atlantic. They can really kind of hinder each other's development. Sometimes one becomes the dominant. Other times the dominant one can actually absorb the weaker one. So, and we're seeing that in the computer models. I'll show you in just a minute. But how these two interact and how far apart they are will determine kind of what we see down the road, whether we have to be concerned about anything. I'll show you the latest computer models, just giving you that general sense of where the computer models are thinking these are headed. And you can see a lot of placement off the southeastern coastline with time. So a lot of lines out there. That's just the best guess of where these storm systems go. But what you can mainly take away, I do want to point out two things. Notice even at the beginning here of this disturbance that is likely to develop later today or tonight, these lines are all over the place to start out. And you have to remember, if you're trying to pick out where a storm's going to be 5, 6, 7 days from now, and you don't even know where it's going to start, that's impossible to do. So if you don't have a start point, you definitely don't have an end point. Same deal here. This disturbance, other one farther to the west, notice how broad these tracks are as we look out towards the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas. That is when, if the storm develops, it would likely be. So the fact that there's such a wide range of potential starting points, it really complicates where this could go down the road. So we watch these. Once they develop, we have a lot better, at least a somewhat better idea of where they're going to go as we look out longer term. So it's just kind of a wait and see first if they develop, and then we'll try to pick out where they go and how strong they'll be. So we know we have two tropical disturbances that are going to be watched very closely during the day ahead. This is one of those deals that these disturbances are closer to the U.S., so you need to be checking back a couple times each day or hopping on the Live 5 First Alert weather app to get your updates there. A lot of uncertainty over the track and how those two storms will interact once again. Usually you don't have two strong storms, you have one strong storm, one weaker storm, and sometimes that weaker storm actually gets fed into the stronger storm and kind of overwhelms it. So which one wins out there is the biggest question mark. A lot of the models showing the farther one maybe being the stronger one. We'll take you out in Future Tracker. This is one of our computer models we're looking at, and we'll stop it here as we go towards Sunday. And I do want to point out that this is a computer model one of the computer models we're looking at here showing basically two separate entities. Those are those two disturbances, with this one here perhaps farther out being the stronger of the two. Now we'll move over toward a different model just to give you kind of what we're looking at in a quick little snapshot. And this one, we take it out to Sunday as well, showing two better developed systems, including what would likely be a strong hurricane, with the one that is likely to develop short term, the one farther out in the Atlantic. But also this area we would have to watch very closely towards the Bahamas or off the east coast of the U.S. Now, these will interact with each other. They're not going to be completely independent. So what can happen is these storms can kind of slingshot each other around and interact and cause these to move in very erratic manners. So that is going to make things super complicated as we go into the weekend and early next week. So if there were to be any impacts for us, it would likely be the beginning of next week. We're talking Monday, Tuesday. But that's a big if. If these storms develop, if that one farther out becomes the dominant one, doesn't allow the one closer to us to grow very strong, this may stay completely off the East Coast and be a non-issue. Hopefully that is the case, but we just can't guarantee it at this time. Now, as far as the names, so the first one up to get a name will probably be the one farther out. That would be Humberto is the next name up on the list, as we have Gabrielle now in the North Atlantic. And then Imelda is the one after that. Imelda would be the one that would be closer to us if that eventually gets a name. And if that does, that would be as we go toward the weekend and early next week. So that one will be a slower developing storm system. The one that is farther out there will likely be Humberto. That could develop once again later today, tonight, or tomorrow. So that is the shorter term as far as the developing of those two tropical systems. So all that to say is it's very messy and convoluted as far as which storm develops first. We have a good idea on that with that farther one out that will be Humberto. But as far as how strong each one of those gets, which one's the stronger of the two, and maybe which one wins out, because they can cause some upper level disturbances or the upper level winds that will disturb the other one. If it grows strong quickly, it can cause the other one to stay very weak, if not develop at all. So they will have interaction with each other. Gabrielle's now getting out of the way, which is opening a window for these two disturbances to move into spaces where they should start to develop and grow stronger over the next couple of days. So we'll be keeping you updated on that. Once again, check in on the Live 5 First Alert Weather app. If you don't have it, it's free in the App Store. Just search Live 5 Weather, and we'll keep you updated right here from the Live 5 Alert Desk as well. I hope you have a good day.